Namo Namaha Bhavtam Sarvesham Hardum Swagatam. Welcome back to my channel Sanskrit Sopanam. I hope you are doing great. I'm also good. And continuing in a series, Learning Sanskrit through Gita, today we'll have the 31st shloka of the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. And we already know the context that we are witnessing Arjunasya Vishad, his sorrow, his rejection, that he is experiencing all these negative emotions. He is feeling weak. That's what we saw in previous shlokas, that he was actually feeling weak. His limbs, his hands, his legs, they felt like they are losing power. His mind, it felt like it is wandering. It is completely haywire. He's having all these second thoughts and everything. So his mental condition is deteriorating, his physical condition is deteriorating, and whatever he's experiencing, he's conveying this to Sri Krishna. So the same context goes in this shloka also. Sanskrit wise, a very easy, very simple shloka to understand. Nothing very difficult, simple verbs, everything. So without wasting any more time, let's quickly dive in today's video. So as always, I have the shloka ready with me. Let me go through the shloka once. Nimittani cha pashyami, vipritani keshava, na cha shreyo nupashyami, hatva swajanam mahave. So this is the shloka that we'll decode today, and this here is the Sandhi Vichhed version of the shloka. So as you can see, the first line, it does not have any Sandhi. In the second line, you have this compound word, Shreyo Nupashyami, which on Sandhi Vichhed opens as Shreyah Anupashyami. And same thing here, Swajanam Ahave. This is the combination of word Swajanam Ahave. So this is the Sandhi. What is the Sandhi and everything? As usual, this detail is in the PDF file. You can download the PDF file from the link in the description box. It have all the Sandhi details, all the word-to-word meaning, translation and everything. Download it, go through it and keep it as your ready reference. So we'll just move on with the decoding of the shloka. Okay, and as usual, we will start with the anchor word. So we are starting here with na anupashyami. So I don't see, that translates into I don't see. This na here, you can already understand, this is just negating the meaning of whatever this action is, anupashyami. So anupashyami means I see. So this obviously comes from the dhatu, the root drish. We have already seen this dhatu before also. Drish means to see. And since Arjuna is saying this for himself, so this is first person, that is Uttam Purush, because the speaker is talking about himself. So in first person, this is singular, obviously, Arjuna is one person, and this is present tense, that is Lat Lakar, right? So in first person, singular present tense, this dhatu drish, it changes into pashyami, this part, pashyami. And anupashyami here, this is just anu plus this form pashyami. So anu is the prefix, the upsarga. Simply meaning, anupashyami simply meaning I see, I observe, that is the sense. And na anupashyami simply negating the sense here. So I don't see. As you can see in the shloka itself, that na cha shreha anupashyami, na anupashyami, that I don't see. That is the sense here. Okay. So Arjuna is saying this for himself. Now the obvious question will be, I don't see what? And the response is Shreya. You can see na Shreya anupashyami. Shreya, this means prosperity or glory. Essentially, in the context, this prosperity will suit better. Prosperity. So this word Shreya, this comes from the Pratipadik Shreyas. Just as we have already seen a similar kind of Sakarant word Manas. Manas, that means mind. So Manas is also a Sakarant neuter gender word, Napunsakling word. Same goes for Shreyas. Shreyas is a neuter gender Napunsakling word. And in second case, singular Ekvachan, this Shreyas is changes into Shreyah. And this simply means prosperity. So I don't see prosperity. This is what Arjuna is meaning. And since this is the object, the karma of this action, anupashyami, that is why we are using the second case, Dutiya Vibhakti, right? So Dutiya Vibhakti of Shreyas, a Sakarant word, changes into Shreya. You already noticed, no? This actually looks like the Prathama Vibhakti, first case of the usual Akarant word. Ram, Balak, Vraksh, all these words. But don't confuse, this is the second case of this Sakarant word, Shreyas. This is the Pratipadik. So I don't see prosperity or I don't see glory. This is what Arjuna is meaning. And if we'll move on, now he says Pashyami, that I see. So Arjuna is saying I don't see prosperity, but instead I see something else. So again, I don't need to describe this verb. This is the same verb, right? Just we have the anu prefix here And here we don't have that, but same word, drish, and the meaning is also same, I see. But anyways, Arjuna don't see prosperity or Arjuna don't see glory, but instead what does he see is nimittani. You can see here nimittani, that Arjuna he sees omens or he sees signs. So this nimittani comes from the pratipadik. I think you can already guess, a lot of people, nimitta. And plural in plural, second case obviously, because again this also here is the object of this verb pashyami, that aham pashyami nimittani, I see signs. So obviously second case. And in plural bahuvachan, this nimit, it changes into nimittani, just as any other neuter gender word phal, it will change into phalani. Okay, so I see nimittani or I see omens or signs. This omens, you already know this the word omen, right? That suppose there is a sense of geopolitical tension that is happening. So two nations are fighting with each other or something. So we say no, that I sense a war is coming, or I sense some political unrest. So that is the omen, that is a sign that we are seeing. Or suppose some country is doing very good, very well. So they say that I see signs of progress, that in 10 years this country will become this, a superpower or something. So I see good signs or I see bad signs. So in that sense, omens or signs. That is what Arjuna mentions, that he see some sort of signs. But what sort of signs? That is the second question. What like kidrishani? That whatever omens or whatever signs Arjuna is seeing, what are they like? And he says it is vipritani. It is vipritani. This obviously again comes from the pratipadik viprit. And obviously this here is the adjective to this noun nimittani. And that is why this is also using the same neuter gender second case plural. So changing same viprit into vipritani. Same thing. Viprit, the pratipadik, this means this, opposite, completely opposite. So when Arjuna says that I don't see prosperity, but instead I see completely opposite signs, that rather of getting prosperity or rather of establishing a peace after the war, Arjuna is seeing that after the war, the results will be even disastrous. That what he is hoping for is peace and prosperity, but instead he will have a very bad result, a very negative, completely opposite result after the war. That is what Arjuna is meaning by seeing this. And you can already relate this whole point with the physical and mental condition of Arjuna, that he is in turmoils, he is shaking, he is shivering, his mental capacity is going down, and all these negative emotions are coming in. And that is what is reflected in these words also. That, oh Krishna, I don't think that this war will result in something good. That is what he is meaning by this. Okay. So that is a sense here. And if we'll move forward, the question is Kim Kritva, that all these signs that Arjuna is saying, that I see all these completely opposite signs, rather prosperity, after doing what? Having done what does he think this will happen? And the response is Hatwa, that after killing or having killed, and if we'll reveal the shloka further, so Hatwa Swajanam. Swajanam Hatwa. Swajanam simply means my own people or relatives. Okay, so you can already see this. These words come from Swa plus Jana. Jana means same, a group of people. And Swa, whenever we attach this, we are making it personal, that my people. So my own people or rather relatives. And this also we know why Arjuna is referring to all the soldiers as Swajanam, because all those that were present in the war, that were related to one another. So some were grandfather, some were father, brothers, this son-in-laws, sons. So all those people were related to each other, because Kaurava and Pandava, essentially they all belong to the same family. So that is why Arjuna is saying that these all are my people only. So Hatva Swajanam, that after killing my own people or having killed my own people, I don't think that prosperity will happen. Rather, I think that completely opposite results will happen. That the entire nation will go into even further turmoil. That this will be even worse than what it is now. That is what Arjuna is thinking. That killing your own people, murdering your own people is not at all going to establish dharma. That is what Arjuna is meaning by this line, right? And if we'll move further, we just have an additional information, kutra, where, that having killed my own people, where, and ahave. Ahave simply means in the war. So this comes from the pratipadik ahav. this word also means war. So we have already seen so many different words for war. We already have the common word yudh. This we already know. Ranbhumi. So we have so many different words for war or battlefield. This ahav is just one other synonym, paryayavachi. So ahav simply means war, and since I want to say that in the war, so in ahav, so I will use the seventh case, right? So ahav will change into ahave. That is what is happening here. Ahave swajanam hatva. That having killed my own people in the war, in the battlefield, I don't think that something good is going to happen. That is the entire meaning of the shloka. But still, let us go and see the Anvay, the translation also. So, Keshava again, this is the eighth case, Sambodhan, right? Arjuna is directly addressing this to Sri Krishna, and Keshav is just another name of Sri Krishna. So, Keshav, that means, O Krishna, O Keshav, Ahave Swajanam Hatva, having killed my own people in the war, my relatives, Na Anupashyami Shreha. I don't see prosperity or I don't see any kind of personal fortune. Rather, this is implied that rather or instead, Vipritani Nimittani Pashyami. That Pashyami, I see, Vipritani Nimittani, I see completely opposite signs. So, and this is the entire translation of this particular shloka. And yeah, that was it. That was the entire translation and decoding of this particular shloka. As I said, very simple, very straightforward shloka, nothing fancy going on. Simple terms, simple Sanskrit, simple concept. So yeah, easy to decode. So I'll meet you in the next shloka in the next video. Until then, download that PDF file, go through it, go through all the other PDF files if you have not gone through it. Keep on practicing this Sanskrit and everything. We'll keep on learning new stuff with every shloka. So that is the idea here. I'll meet you in the next video in the next shloka. Until then, stay awesome, stay happy. Vayam puna milamaha. Dhanyavad.